It began in Coldwater, a forgotten speck of a town where the wind howls through empty streets and the houses sag like they're tired of standing. Emily had come here to escape a life that had chewed her up and spit her out, a bad breakup, a job she hated, a family that didn't care. She wanted a fresh start, a place to rebuild herself. But Coldwater, it had other plans for her. She found the doll in a thrift store tucked away on the edge of town, the kind of place where forgotten things fester, dusty lamps, cracked mirrors, and clothes that smell of mothballs and regret. Emily wasn't looking for anything special, just something to make her new apartment feel less empty. And there it was, on a sagging shelf, half hidden behind a pile of warped books. A porcelain doll, maybe 2 feet tall, dressed in a faded lace gown that might have been white once. Its face was delicate, almost beautiful, but its eyes, glassy blue, unblinking, with pupils that seemed to pierce right through you. Its head was tilted ever so slightly, as if it was considering her. Creepy, but kind of charming, Emily thought. She bought it for $5, ignoring the shopkeeper's odd glance, and carried it home. She named it Clara, a name that felt soft and old-fashioned, and set it on a shelf in her bedroom. "My guardian angel," she'd say, laughing to herself. But that first night, something wasn't right. She woke at exactly 3:13 a.m., her heart hammering in her chest. The room was pitch black, the kind of dark that presses against your eyes. She couldn't say why she'd woken. There was no sound, no movement, but she felt it, a presence. Slowly, she turned her head toward the shelf. Clara's eyes, they glinted, not with moonlight. There was no moon that night. Not with a street lamp. Her curtains were drawn. They glinted with a light that shouldn't exist, watching her. Emily tried to brush it off. She was stressed, she told herself. New town, new home. Her mind was playing tricks. But the feeling didn't go away. Over the next few days, she noticed things, small things at first. She'd leave for work, locking the door behind her, and come home to find Clara's head turned slightly, facing the door now, or angled toward the couch where Emily sat. She lived alone. No pets, no visitors, no one but her and Clara. She started taking pictures of the doll before leaving, just to prove she wasn't crazy. But the photos didn't lie. Clara's hands, once folded neatly in her lap, were now open, palms up, as if reaching for something. Her smile, had it always been so sharp, so knowing? Emily's laughter turned to unease, then to fear. And then the noises began. At night, when the world was still, she'd hear it, a faint scratching like tiny nails dragging across wood, coming from her bedroom. She'd lie there, covers pulled to her chin, telling herself it was the house settling, the pipes groaning, anything but what her gut screamed it was. One night, it wasn't scratching. It was a giggle. High-pitched, childish, and wrong. It slithered through the dark, curling around her like smoke. Hee. It came from the shelf. Emily didn't sleep that night. At dawn, she yanked Clara off the shelf, her hands shaking so badly she nearly dropped it. Those glassy eyes stared up at her, unblinking, accusing. She shoved the doll into a closet, slamming the door and piling boxes in front of it. "You're just a doll," she whispered, "just a stupid doll." But the next morning, Clara was back on the shelf, head tilted, watching. Emily's life became a nightmare. She stopped sleeping, her eyes hollow from exhaustion. She'd hear the scratching every night now, louder, closer. Sometimes she'd wake to find her bedroom door ajar, though she swore she'd locked it. She tried to get rid of Clara. She drove to a dumpster across town, hurling the doll into the filth and speeding away. She felt free for one glorious day, but the next morning she walked into her kitchen. And there was Clara, on the table, dress pristine, eyes locked on her, as if she'd never left. Emily tried everything. She smashed the doll with a hammer, but the pieces were back together by morning. She burned it in her backyard, watching the flames devour the porcelain until nothing but ash remained. She thought it was over. She thought she'd won. That night, she woke to a weight on her chest. She couldn't move, couldn't breathe. The air was thick, oppressive, like a storm about to break. In the darkness, she saw them. Those glassy, blue eyes, inches from her own, glowing faintly in the black. A cold, tiny hand brushed her cheek, slow and deliberate. "Why don't you want me, Emily? Why don't you love me?" Emily screamed, thrashing, but the weight didn't lift. The voice kept whispering over and over until her mind felt like it would shatter. And then, it was gone. The room was silent. The shelf was empty. Emily curled into a ball, sobbing until dawn broke. Emily vanished the next day. Her apartment was found empty, her belongings untouched. The shelf was bare, not a speck of dust where Clara had sat. The thrift store where it all began? It burned to the ground a week later, the fire so fierce it left nothing but blackened rubble. The cause was never found. But Coldwater hasn't forgotten. Locals whisper about a figure they've seen in the woods, a porcelain doll in a frilly dress, standing perfectly still among the trees. You might see it if you wander too far. It won't move while you're watching, but if you blink, if you turn away, it's closer.